People always say to me, Jordan, I want to scale an agency to $10,000 a month. How do I do it? So that's exactly what I'm going to go through today. The path of least resistance that anyone can follow to scale an agency to 10K. And all the components I'm going to go through today, if you have them in check, it is physically impossible that you will not succeed with this. So pay attention. So first of all, this is my agency, Affluent.co. Been around for about 6 years. We've made millions upon millions in revenue for ourselves. And of course, as a result of that, we've made tens of millions in return on investment for the clients that we work with. We work with e-commerce brands around the globe. So you can see some of the return on investment here. You can pause this if you like. 37 million, 3 million, 7 million. You get the idea. We know what we are talking about when it comes to building an agency. We've been doing this for a very long time. So I'm going to break down this in a flow for you today on Miro. Now, my microphone just ran out of battery before starting to record this, and I'm also ill as shit. So bear with me today, but I figure you guys are going to want the value and would rather me to record this video than just sack it off for another week or so. So let's do this. Let's start off with the foundations. I'm going to presume that you guys are watching this and you already have some kind of foundational knowledge around what an agency actually is. Okay, an agency in its simplest form is person A, you going to person B, normally a business owner, and offering a service that's going to improve their life, like increase their revenue, for example, or save them time. Okay, for the majority of you guys, you might have come across me through SMMA. Now, SMMA is a social media marketing agency, so we're offering services like paid ads to businesses, help them increase their revenue. So you need to get these fundamentals in play first of all, and I'm not going to linger on this because I want to talk about what you actually have to do to get to 10K a month. So the fundamentals are, you need to know your niche, okay? And then we need to have our service, okay? And then we want to make sure that we've nailed down our offer, okay? So a niche is simply who we're actually working with. So this a niche also could be known as an industry. Okay, so this might be real estate, it might be home improvements, it might be healthcare, whatever that may be. Okay, figure that out for yourself. I'd recommend you picking something that you'll have genuine interest in, but also not just picking one niche in the early stages. I like to recommend a scattergun effect. So what you do is you offer scattergun strategy. So you reach out to all the businesses in your local area that could be suitable for your service. In doing this, you're testing out what works best for you. You're not just putting yourself in this one box and then only sticking to that one thing. Okay, so try a scattergun approach. Stick with or don't stick with one niche, and then test out what works fundamentally for you, but sticking with your locality. Then you're going to offer a service that resonates with you the most, maybe paid ads if you don't have a clue where you're going to start. It's a nice easy way to get return on investment. And then you're going to build out an offer. Okay, now the offer is something that's going to improve over time. Okay, there's going to be some wind noise on this video, guys, so bear with me. Like, I want to get this done for you. So these are some of the fundamentals, but that's not the purpose of this video. If you want me to record a video on the fundamentals, I've done many already. We can probably link some underneath, but drop a comment down below and I can go into either of these or any of these in more detail. Just let me know which of them you want me to. So when we've actually got those foundations in play, what do we need to do? Well, the first thing we're going to do to actually get a client is we're going to outreach, okay? So outreach is simply us going out there and reaching out to potential customers and physically knocking down their doors and saying, look, this is what I got to offer for you. I can add value to your life. Let's have a meeting, and then you sell them your service, okay? Not in those exact words. That's a very condensed meeting strategy, okay? So outreach, what can this actually look like, okay? So this might be in the form of cold calls, okay? This could be email. This could also be DMs, okay? So direct messages. So these are the most common forms of outreach when you're starting an agency, okay? So first of all, we have cold calls, which you will have all heard of. So cold calling is simply just calling up other businesses, cold, they haven't heard of you before, and trying to arrange a meeting with them. The key when you're doing outreach is to make sure that you are not trying to sell or pitch your services. You are just trying to reach out and secure a meeting. That is the ultimate goal of outreach. If you're speaking to someone and they say to you, yeah, sure, that sounds interesting, tell me about how much it costs, tell me about the service, don't get tempted to pitch them on the spot. You're going to stumble over your words, you're going to screw it all up. It's just a recipe for failure. Outreach is all about securing a meeting, and then you can prepare yourselves and then follow a meeting strategy that I've taught you. You can look at my YouTube channel and I go through that in much more detail, okay? Now, outreach is what is going to get you from 0 to probably around 5K, okay? Maybe you can get to outreach on 10K, 100%. I got to 10K a month just from outreach. And the key for successful outreach is having really good goals, okay? So let's just jump through some of those. So outreach goals, okay? In its most basic forms, if you can aim to reach out to 20 companies per day, okay? If you can do 20 companies per day using a multi-platform strategy, okay? So that means calling them, emailing them, and DMing them, okay? You can do that every single day, 5 days a week. You're reaching out to 100 companies per week. I found on average, on working with thousands upon thousands of agency owners, I've coached thousands over the years, that it takes on average 25 cold calls to get one meeting. It's going to take you a few more emails and a few more DMs because you're hiding behind a screen, okay? You can't use your voice. Cold calls are harder, and it's not the path of least resistance, but it is the easiest way to get meetings. But I would say on average, 20 to 25 outreaches to get one meeting, okay? So on this basis, you're going to be securing anything from 3 to 5 meetings per week, okay? On the basis of doing this multi-platform strategy, you do kind of 60 touch points across all 3, okay? Out of those, you're probably going to have a 25% close rate, or even just say 20% close rate if you're doing a pretty shit job, and that's absolutely fine if you're just starting out. Like, that's pretty normal. And that means, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at, let's say we're looking at 3 meetings a week, 3, 6, 9, 12. So you're going to get anything from 2 to 4 clients a month, okay? But the key is this. The key is making sure that you're doing your outreach and you're doing it proper, okay? You have to stick to it. You have to be consistent with it. And this is where most people drop off. Most people do their first cold calls. Most people send the first emails and the first DMs. They don't get all the yeses straight away. They wonder why it's taken a while to get meetings, and then they lose motivation and give up, okay? That is what's going to screw you over. If you want to be a successful agency owner, if you want to hit 10K, you've got to get used to being resilient. You have to get used to getting a lot of no's before you get yeses. Way more no's than you get yeses, okay? Resilience is key. So this is really all you need in the early stages to get you to 10K a month, right? But I'm going to go through a lot more than this in this video. I'm going to break down a bunch more stuff as well that a lot of you might want to dive into, okay? So, but in its most basic form, this is what got me to 10K a month, okay? Now, the industry has changed somewhat. People like to make it a little bit more interesting for themselves, like to hit people from all angles. That's all good, okay? I'm going to give you some other avenues that we can go down right now to hit 10K a month for the agency. Okay, but what actually happens after we outreach? What do we do? So we reach out to a client, and then what we're going to do is we're going to establish, is this client qualified or are they unqualified? Because not everyone you speak to is going to be suitable for your service, okay? It's very important that we don't just sign up every single person that we speak to, okay? Because then we're just going to put ourselves in a world of pain, and yeah, it's going to be a headache. So sales call. So if they are suitable for us, okay, and we deem that based on whatever our criteria is, okay, it's really going to just be that they can afford our service. If we're charging anything from $500 to $1,000 for our first ever client, I wouldn't really advise charging more than that. Then you just want to make sure that as a business they're making at least 10K a month. Okay, so they're qualified, cool, we're going to have a sales call. And obviously, what's then going to happen? Well, they're either going to close or they're going to reject us. It's either going to be a yes or a no. We can just say yes, no. So what happens if we get a yes? Then we are going to sell them our monthly service, okay? So broadly speaking, regardless of the service that you're offering in the early stages as an agency owner, if you want to scale up and you want to have a consistent income, you want to have a monthly service, something that you can charge a retainer for. So for example, paid ads, if we're offering a paid ad service or a lead generation service where we're running Facebook ads and we're then generating leads and appointment setting those on behalf of the client, okay? Then that service can demand anything from $500 to $1,500 a month in the early stages. But a monthly service allows us to stack up capital over time, so we compound the clients. So we get 5 clients, and then obviously we get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're compounding revenue over time. We don't have to continually be replacing those clients. Now, once we've been working with that client on a monthly service, I don't really recommend you tying clients in for like 3 months initially. It's going to be pretty hard for you to do so. You're going to be signing them on a monthly rolling contract. Hopefully this wind isn't a problem. What I would then recommend you doing when you get them some good results is you then incentivize them to sign a long-term contract. So initially, sign up your clients when you're struggling to build trust. Okay, you're not going to have an awful lot of trust. You're not going to have case studies that you can use and leverage. And this is a problem for new start agency owners. You don't have an awful lot of leverage, and leverage is what helps an agency scale. Okay, it helps you scale from 5 to 10K. It helps you scale from 10 to 100K, 100K to 500K a month, whatever. It's all about leverage points. Leverage comes in the form of your case studies. It comes in the form of your reputation. It comes in the form of your conviction on the phone because of your ability to deliver results. You don't have a lot of leverage in the early stages of building an agency, and so I recommend getting clients signed up on a monthly rolling contract. When you get them results, then you can offer them maybe like a 10% discount in order to sign a 3-month term or a 6-month term. Then you secure that long-term contract and you get more stability in the agency, because stability is something we need in this business as soon as possible. Okay, so what happens if we get a no? Well, we can just take their details, put them on an email list. Okay, you might not have a mailing list to start off with, but at least you can be storing those details for when you do. Okay, because believe me, there will come a point in the business where you'll have enough time to think about these things, and you might want to send an email list out every week, or an email newsletter out every week, maybe a couple, where you've given value to your niche. They then come to you later down the line once they've scaled up, or once they've built some more kind of subconscious trust with you. Okay, so what about if they're unqualified? We're going to refer them to someone else, maybe a smaller agency, and maybe a partner agency that offer a different service. This is what we can do. You won't have these relationships in the early stages, but this is something you want to start thinking about. Okay, if they're unqualified, can I give them something else? Can I still aid them in some way, shape, or form? Or better yet, can I offer them a low ticket? Is there something that is cheaper than my monthly service that I can sell to these individuals? Okay. I don't want to get too ahead of myself with kind of more advanced concepts right now, because I really want to just make sure this video is tailored to everyone who wants to be making 10k a month. Okay, so let's connect the dots. All of these are going to feed into: is the client qualified? Is the client unqualified? Okay. If you want me to make like a more in-depth version of this for like existing agencies, maybe if we're looking at scaling to like 100k a month, this process would look very different. Then let me know in the comments and we can dive into that. Okay, so let's just say you're like, okay, well, I don't just want to scale the agency from outreach. I want to be doing some other things that are going to help me get more clients as well. How can I feed this funnel? How can I build this system out further? So next thing we want to be looking at, okay, and you don't want to get, I want to make this crystal clear, you don't want to get distracted by any of these things right early on. I wouldn't consider moving in, I'm going to go through a number of different things today, but I wouldn't consider progressing to these other stages unless you are already signing up clients through outreach. If your outreach isn't working, then that's the only thing you need to be focused on, okay? Don't get distracted by content, don't get distracted by, let's say, paid ads, for example. Don't get distracted by any of that if your outreach isn't working, okay? Only focus on one thing at a time. There's this massive issue in the entrepreneurship space, especially with beginners, with shiny object syndrome, and there are so many people putting out content online talking about building an agency. Most people have never actually ever built a successful agency, so they don't know what they're talking about in the first place, and they're going to be selling you opportunities. This is the next best thing. This is the only way to sign clients. The only way and the most efficient way for you to sign up clients as a complete beginner is cold outreach, okay? Unless you've got some cash behind you and you can run some paid ads to a completely blue ocean niche, okay? But the likelihood of you actually being able to find a blue ocean niche in this day and age is very slim, and for paid ads to work, you need some kind of a leverage, aka some case studies and so on that you can use, or a really, really great offer, of which you're not really going to know how to build in the early stages if you're not an experienced agency owner. So you get what I'm saying here, guys? Like, outreach is king when you're starting out. Okay, so content, where can we put out content? So we can do Instagram. In fact, I'm going to do this in order of what I think is kind of like the flow for creating content. So Twitter really is a great place for you to start off writing content. I think lots of people, let's just get this spacing of OCD, you're not diagnosed, but I like things to look good. Okay, so we've got Twitter. Twitter is a good place for you to start writing content, okay? If you've never created content before, like it's quick fire, it's written stuff, I find that Twitter is a really nice place for you to create concepts and prove ideas before you then move them over to something else like YouTube, where I'm creating content right now. Now, it always shocks me how little agency owners create YouTube content for their own agency. Okay, let me go through this first of all, I'm getting distracted. Let me add these all in, and I'm going to talk about some of these individually, because I don't want to forget anything right now. And then what else we got? Facebook. Okay, there are other platforms like Pinterest and shit like that, but like, let's just focus on like the main ones. Content. First of all, we've got Twitter. Twitter feeds in really nicely to other platforms. Okay, yeah, it does. It's a really nice place for you to learn how to write content and for you to prove concepts. YouTube is without a doubt the most valuable platform that you could use to be building a brand right now, okay? It's an incredible place for you to find potential clients as well, okay? And I don't even mean just trying to get YouTube content that's going to get you clout, I'm going to get you suggestive views. What I'm really talking about here is producing YouTube content that that drives traffic or picks up on search volume within your niche. Okay, you work with real estate agents, you create a YouTube video that says how to generate leads as a real estate agent, how to run Facebook ads as a real estate agent, etc. You pick up on all these search terms that real estate agents are going to be searching for on YouTube, okay? And as an agency, you're going to be gaining a lot of authority. You might just have a subtle call to action at the end of that video saying, hey, just if you want to learn more, click link below, sign up to my newsletter, or click link below, schedule a call with my team, okay? But YouTube is a really great place to build authority, okay? So much of my business has been founded off the base of this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. I have made tens of millions off this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. It acts as such a great base of credibility and knowledge, etc. Okay, so don't be shy away from getting in front of the camera. I think many of you who are watching this right now might think to yourselves, "Oh, I really don't want to create video content," and I think that is a dying luxury. Okay, it used to be a luxury to be able to choose whether or not you want to be able to record YouTube video content. Not that you have to be a YouTuber, I'm not saying that in any way, shape or form, but it is a dying luxury to decide whether or not you want to record video content. Or wind. Video content is the foundation for so many of the platforms that we use right now. Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube, we absorb more video content now than ever. And so if you're too afraid to get behind the camera, okay, first of all, you should be attracted to the things that scare the shit out of you. You should be attracted to everything that puts you out of your comfort zone and into an area of discomfort, because that means we are learning something and we are pushing ourselves into a new realm. And so if you're it's just not going to be something that we can decide whether or not we want to do going forward. And I think that as years progress, it's going to become more and more important that we are creating video content, be it Reels, be it TikToks, be it YouTube content, especially if we're marketers, especially if we're a digital agency owner. We need to get used to that concept or the idea of creating video content as soon as possible. So Instagram, mainly I'm talking about Instagram Reels, but of course we do have kind of normal posts as well. Then we've got LinkedIn, which is a more professional platform, but actually short form content is doing well on LinkedIn as well. And then we've got Facebook. We do have TikTok as well, but I haven't added that to the list. Depends on your niche. Like, I don't know if TikTok is like really great for B2B, unless like, yeah, it depends on your niche. B2C, it's a lot better, business to consumer. But yeah, B2B, I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna keep it off this list for now. Okay, now we can push people straight through to a sales call, but it is like what you'll find yourself doing if you're creating content and then you're pushing people through to a sales call. You'll find that you have to cancel a lot of your sales calls because you're going to get a lot of unqualified people that are going to be booking calls with you. So broadly speaking, if we are creating content and that is part of our strategy, I would recommend you having what I call a straight sell funnel. You might call this a website, okay? So it's simply going to be, let me see if I can just give you an example. I mean, the Affluent.co website is kind of the same as a straight sell. We've just got our copy there. We're direct-to-consumer growth partners for big brands with big ideas. We work with industry-leading brands. This is the return on investment we've got. So it's straight sales landing page. It's a one-page kind of sales website. I'll give you an example of a beginner one. This is from the Reno Reach series. I started a brand new agency from scratch last year just to show you guys what is possible in a small amount of time. Is this going to load right now? What's going on with the internet? Who knows? Let me just see if this loads and I'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so this is it. We generate quote-ready leads for your home improvement. We generate quote-ready home improvement leads for you. Okay, so straight sell, who are we? Our process, very simple, and then we've got a simple opt-in there as well. You don't need anything much more complex than this when you're first starting out, but what this enables us to do when we put full name, website, email, phone, okay, we can get an idea of who the company is before we offer them the opportunity to actually then go ahead and book a call with us directly. Okay, so that is what I would call a straight sell funnel or a landing page. These can get a lot more complex, okay. Yeah, a straight sell can be a lot more in depth than that, but when you're first starting out, you really don't need anything much more than a hero section where you've got your offer statement, or what I call an NSVP, which is your niche specific value proposition, okay? And then we have any other relevant information, maybe like who we are, your process, and then obviously call to action. If you've got case studies, awesome. You want to make sure you slap as many case studies onto your website as you possibly can. I'm going to get rid of those for now because I will break this up. Okay, so that is content. Now, broadly speaking, like if you've got the know-how and you've got the motivation to do so, I would recommend all of you guys creating content as soon as you possibly can, but don't get distracted by it. Content is something that will bolster up your overall strategy. Think about this. If you're cold calling a company, if you're sending them an email, if you're DMing them on social media, they've seen you on Instagram, what are they going to do? They're likely going to click on your profile. They're likely going to check you out, okay? Maybe you've cold called them, you've booked in a meeting for a couple of days' time. What are they going to do? They come off the phone, they've just heard of this random Jordan guy they've never spoken to before. He's promised them that he's going to get them some extra leads on a monthly basis? Well, they're probably going to Google you. They're probably going to try and look you up, okay? And if you don't have a digital footprint, it's going to go against you, okay? You're going to get more no-shows, you're going to get more cancellations. So if you're putting out content, broadly speaking, it's going to massively aid your process. You might not get many inbound leads to start off with. That is something that takes a lot of time. Content is one of those things where you bang your head against the wall for a very long time until you get results. You're going to post a lot of shit and nobody is going to see it, and that is absolutely okay. You can go back to my original videos, and they're a joke. Like my original videos, they're very comical if you watch them now, but now they've got like 20,000 views because of all you guys who are now watching the channel now went back and watched them. In the early stages, I was getting like 10 views on every single video for months, okay? You have to get used to that. You have to eat shit. Your ego has to eat a lot of shit. Yeah, you're just not getting out of it what you want to get out of it. But inbound leads will come after a long time, but what you really are gaining from having content in the early stages is proof that you are who you say you are and you're actively doing what you're saying you're doing. So go on to ChatGPT if you're stuck for content ideas, explain, I'm an agency owner doing XYZ, this is my niche, this is my offer, give me some content ideas. I usually recommend 3 pillars. We have education. We have in education, which is kind of course, educating on individual things to that niche. We then have entertainment, okay, so this is where we're kind of documenting our life and things that we're doing. And then finally we have inspiration, or inspire, I think we call it in our framework. And that is where we would then show case studies and have call to actions, etc. Okay, if you want me to go in more detail, I can do so in a future vid. Okay, so these 2 things, again, can get us to 10k a month. Each of these on their own can get us to 10k a month, but together, combined, it's just a formula for success. Next thing, we have paid ads. Okay, I touched on this earlier. Okay, and with paid ads, we're going to be running ads on either Facebook, Instagram, which is basically the same as running ads on Facebook, because Facebook own Instagram, obviously. And then finally, we also have YouTube. Okay, I don't really recommend running ads on Twitter. I don't recommend running ads on LinkedIn. I've spent tens of thousands on the platform. They just are not as fruitful as Facebook and Instagram. If you've had a different experience and you're an existing agency owner, challenge me on this. Drop a comment down below, let me know, because I'm always open to having that challenged. Now, when we're running paid ads, the key thing to understand is we need leverage. Okay, leverage is the key to paid ad success. Leverage in the form of our case studies, leverage in the form of previous results, which is the same thing, maybe testimonials as well that we can put on top of our videos. Okay, leverage is what we need for ads to truly succeed. Outside of that, we need a really good offer. So an offer might be we get 10 more leads this month, or increase your revenue by X percentage. And what you have to remember about an offer on a ad is it's not the thing that you have to stick to and follow through with the whole way. An offer in many cases is a hook. It's a way to get people interested, to have a meeting with you, to fill in their details on the ad. Okay, it doesn't then mean that you are then married to that specific thing because they've seen an ad to you. It might have just hooked them, got them interested, and then when you get on a sales meeting, you dequalify them for whatever reason. So you're not married to the things that you say on paid ads, but you want to be as sincere and as authentic as possible. Okay, we absolutely don't want to be over promising people, broadly speaking, or putting out offers that we have no intention to fulfill. Now, when you're first starting, I would recommend you using lead forms. Okay, definitely on Facebook and Instagram. A lead form is what it sounds like. It's an ad. Someone clicks it, and then they see a form that they fill in their details, and they're like, "Hey, look, I'm a lead." Okay, this is the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to ads. Also, the cheapest way. If you cannot generate leads via a lead form, there's no point thinking about running a landing page. Okay, don't care how nice your landing page is. If your ads aren't converting on a lead form, they are not going to convert on a landing page. So for that reason, broadly speaking, I recommend always running ads on Facebook and Instagram first, so you can test out your strategy until you then go ahead and test out something like YouTube. Because when you use YouTube, you can't use a lead form. Okay, you have to use a landing page. Okay, mainly a lead magnet. Okay, what is a lead magnet? Okay, well, a lead magnet is simply a landing page that offers a free resource. So this is the e-commerce growth hub. This is a resource that we offer on a landing page for e-commerce brands. Okay, like these are all the tools and techniques that we've used to scale brands to 7 and 8 figures. Okay, so here we go. Some wording: unlock the exact systems with you to generate 75 million in brand revenue. Welcome to a new era of e-commerce. Okay, and we have a landing page for this. People can opt in when they see an ad. They can sign up. Okay, and then they get access to all of this. They also see some case studies, some videos, some training, etc. It's just a really great resource that they get on the front end. It doesn't cost them anything. And then what happens is our appointment setters will call up those leads and they will then qualify them. Okay, so what will happen is the appointment setter will call them up. Let's just move this over here. and they'll say, okay, is this lead qualified or are they unqualified? Okay, let's just connect these dots so we're ahead of ourselves. We will also email them. We have a bunch of email flows that we will send out after they have opted into the lead magnet. We have some SMS flows as well. All of this we kind of do on Go High Level, the automation side of things. Go High Level is a really great tool that you can use. I have a full video on my channel about High Level. If you want to go check that out after this video. Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of automations and so on, pipeline management, CRM. It's basically an all-in-one agency management tool, and it is well worth it if you are just starting off, or not even if you're just starting off. We still use this in our agency to this day, and it solves a lot of problems for us. So outside of paid ads, and I just want to stipulate that you absolutely do not need paid ads to hit 10k a month in your agency, okay? Paid ads is a luxury for those of you that can afford it, okay? And if you are getting some clients in and you can use that extra revenue to run some ads, and you've got some leverage and you've got some case studies, there'll be a really, it really is, it's going to get you a lot quicker than outreaches, okay? But you can, in theory, just do this from outreach. You can do this just from outreach and content, okay? Paid ads is going to be the icing on the cake. It's going to help you scale up a lot quicker. If you've scaled to 10k a month for paid ads, you're going to hit 50k a month pretty quickly. But of course, you're going to get this all well and good in theory, right? But you're going to have all these added complexions like team and strain and stress, etc. Okay, so it's all well and good me saying, okay, you're going to hit 50k a month quickly, but you're going to have issues with clients and learning hurdles and everything, all the fun shit. Like, what I wouldn't be doing to be in your position, like building an agency from scratch again with no knowledge, because you just get to learn it all. You get to fail forward. You get to go through this shit, and that's a good thing. So the final thing is referrals. Okay, and this is something that all of you guys are going to have. Okay, so referrals if you're doing a good job. So when you're delivering a good service, first of all, you're going to get referrals from your clients. Okay, so when you're delivering a good service for your clients, you hit that peak kind of happiness. At the same time that we look to try and get a longer term contract because we've got some results, we want to also hit the client and ask them for a referral. And we say, look, if you know anyone else that would be suitable for us, I'll take a 10% off your monthly retainer, and we'll do this like on an ongoing basis. So you give us 5 referrals and they actually sign up, that's 50% off. Okay, many people will do this. We've also got partners. Okay, so these might be partner agencies. So if you're offering a paid ad service for real estate agents, you might want to partner with a web development agency or an email marketing agency for real estate agents, any complementary service agency. Okay, if you're stuck on that, go on ChatGPT and say, hey, I offer this service to this niche. What are some complementary agencies that would be suitable for partnerships? You're going to find some good shit. Okay, partners can be incredible. We get so many partner referrals come in for our agency, and also partners in software as well. So we use a whole bunch of different softwares. We're investors in a whole bunch of different softwares. These opportunities come along from building a successful agency, and softwares give us a lot of referrals on a monthly basis. And these softwares might be lead generation softwares. They might be attribution and ad tracking softwares. They might be content creation softwares. Okay, but building great relationships with business owners is just a great way to get extra clients through the door. In fact, there was a period of time where we turned off all our outreach, turned off all our ads, and we're like, we've got enough referrals here to sustain the business for a long time. Now, it didn't actually last as long as we wanted it to, but we grew the business by at least 50k a month in revenue in this period just from focusing on referrals through software and through partnerships. But actually found that, it wasn't as reliable as we wanted it to be, and so we kind of came back to a mix of outreach, paid ads, content, and referrals. Everything that I'm going through today is what we do in our agency and a lot more, but these are the fundamental cornerstones of client acquisition: outreach, content, paid ads, and of course referrals. And of course, we're always, with the referrals, want to make sure that we're then making sure these are qualified or unqualified, and you don't have to give anyone like a kickback or an incentive if the client isn't qualified for whatever reason. So don't feel like you're trapped just because your client said, hey, look, my friend Jess owns a business, but it's a bag of shit, right? And then you feel like you have to work with them guys. Like, oh, that's annoying me, because that is not the case at all. Yeah, you want to make sure that you're always protecting your agency, and that's actually something that's really important for all of you guys to understand. Like in the early stages of running an agency, you're going to come across a lot of unqualified businesses. And broadly speaking, you are going to be wanting to sign up as many clients as you possibly can, not really thinking about the quality of those clients, not really considering whether or not they're going to make your life hell. Like, I remember in the early stages, I literally signed up everyone I possibly could. I reached out to everyone in the local area. I signed up a restaurant, I signed up a gym, I signed up a couple of gyms, signed up a couple of dentists, signed up a kitchen and bathroom showroom, signed up a furniture store, signed up a bespoke handmade jewellery store, and honestly, like, it was a headache. And now I don't regret going scattergun strategy, because I think that is what all of you guys should do. Go scattergun, test things out, fail forward, understand that not every client is going to be easy. But you don't want to sign up clients that fundamentally aren't suitable for your service. So an example would be this kitchen and bathroom showroom that I signed up. It's very unlike the kitchen and bathroom clients that people are signing up in agencies these days that go out there and they fit kitchens and bathrooms. This was just a showroom. They didn't even fit themselves, and so I was having to run Facebook ads just to get people to walk into this showroom. We couldn't track results. The client was a nightmare. They wouldn't send content to me, and I ended up losing them after a couple of months after a pretty significant argument with them. And during that time, I started questioning myself. I started asking myself, okay, am I cut out for this? Can I even deliver this service? Am I getting it all wrong? And like, you start getting in your own head. And so signing up a client just to make a little bit of money off them, like, is not worth the mental bandwidth. It is not worth the stress. You need to protect your sacred space, which is your agency and your brain. You don't want to be working with clients that are just not worth your time and are just fundamentally unsuitable for you. And that is the same goes not just for the business structure, same goes for the actual suitability of the person. So if they're just like, they're going to be micromanaging you all the time, they're just already grilling you on the sales meeting, they think they run the fucking world, then they're just not going to be a great client, and they're just going to be a headache. No one's money is worth that. And what you need to understand in the early stages is, if you want to scale to 10k a month, you need all of these things in play. But if your mindset is on chasing cash instead of getting leverage, okay? If your mindset is on chasing cash and making as much money as you can in the shortest time frame possible, you're going to start skipping corners when it comes to the fundamentals. You're going to start signing up clients that aren't suitable. You're going to start lacking in areas that you really cannot lack in. And so we need to focus on leverage. We need to focus on working with people that we can get really great results with. We need to focus on mastering our service, okay? And we need to focus on resilience and doing cold outreach, learning our really great service and dedicating time every day to our service, and just creating a really good customer experience. Those are the keys to building a 10k a month agency. And the truth is, anyone can do this, but most people don't, because their minds are in the wrong place. And they also don't have the things that we've gone through today in check. So guys, that is everything I want to go through today. I can get so much more granular with this, so if you want me to, please do let me know, and I can create the 50k a month tomorrow, I can create the 100k a month tomorrow, and I can create videos about any of these individual topics. So drop me a comment down below, and just understand that all of you have what it takes to build a 10k a month agency. You just need to be consistent over time. You need to understand that this is not going to happen overnight. We are all on different journeys, and some of you might hit 10k in a couple of months, some of you might hit 10k in a year, okay? But what you have to remind yourself is, the only thing that's going to get you there is consistency over time. If you give up, if you lack, if you stop your outreach, those are the things that are going to stop you being successful. But it is physically impossible not to succeed if you stay consistent. Cool. Cheers.